chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
That's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. But we just don't know.
I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime?
Nice. Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely is.
Number one, this is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has finally broken his silence on his 2026 return, confirming that his first appearance will come this year in a highly publicized exhibition bout against Mike Tyson. While stressing that the Tyson clash won't count as a professional fight, Mayweather revealed the real headline: he is already in talks for a sanctioned comeback bout, with Terence Crawford emerging as the likely opponent. According to Mayweather, discussions are ongoing, and both he and his team are working diligently to make his official return to the professional ring a reality.
Everything is going great. You know, I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
Whenever boxing fans discuss dream fights, Floyd Mayweather's name inevitably takes center stage, even in retirement. His legacy looms so large that debates about how he would fare against today's champions never truly fade. Recently, trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the hypothetical clash between Mayweather and Terence Crawford. Offering a dose of perspective, he pointed out that while Mayweather's career was filled with unmatched achievements, he never secured the status of an undisputed champion like Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did. Still, Garcia acknowledged Mayweather's extraordinary skills and aura, ultimately leaning toward Floyd as the favorite if such a fantasy fight were ever to happen.
He doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? Not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was A division. So we could argue there because Pacquiao was A division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done.
Robert Garcia was quick to highlight the accomplishments that set Terence Crawford apart, noting that Crawford achieved something Mayweather never did, donifying every major belt in a division. He also pointed to Manny Pacquiao, who secured undisputed recognition while conquering multiple weight classes. In Garcia's view, this is where Mayweather's record feels incomplete. Though Floyd remained undefeated, dominated elite opponents, and built a legendary resume, undisputed status always eluded him. Still, Garcia made clear that this doesn't take away from Mayweather's greatness, it simply shows why. Crawford deserves recognition as one of boxing's most complete fighters. Yet, despite acknowledging Crawford's historic success, Garcia leaned on his deep experience in the sport to explain why he would still pick Mayweather, arguing that Floyd's defense, timing, and ring IQ operated on a level few, if any, could match.
I still pick Mayweather, both in the prime. I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. You know, fucking that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. You know, all this new things going on. I think it's going to be a positive thing for all the younger.
I do highlighted that Floyd Mayweather's legacy is defined by 2 equally legendary versions of himself. First came Pretty Boy Floyd, the fearless young talent who overwhelmed opponents with blistering speed, relentless aggression, and sharp combinations. Then emerged Money Mayweather, the defensive mastermind, savvy businessman, and pay-per-view king who transformed boxing into a global spectacle. Allow describe Floyd as a genius who not only perfected his style in the ring but also engineered his public image, giving each persona its own distinct aura. Pretty Boy won admiration by taking risks and delivering highlight reel knockouts, while Money captivated the world with psychological warfare, technical brilliance, and unmatched promotional power. Together, these 2 phases of his career shaped a legacy that transcends fighting, cementing Mayweather as both a boxing icon and an architect of the sport's modern business model.
I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom. But sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking. I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then. And I get it. I get it. Right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. You know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was like Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
BAB, who once shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, didn't hesitate to declare Terence Crawford as the king of this generation. He emphasized that every era has its star, and right now, Crawford carries that mantle. Judah even recalled Canelo Alvarez's remark that Crawford might be better than Mayweather, stressing that such words shouldn't be dismissed lightly. In Judah's view, Crawford has already proven his greatness by dominating elite opponents across multiple weight classes, with a style so complete that no one has managed to crack it. While showing full respect to Floyd's legacy, Judah made it clear that the present era belongs to Crawford. He acknowledged that comparisons across generations are inevitable, but insisted that Crawford rightfully deserves recognition as today's #1 fighter.
Number one, this is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Just seen in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know. Because I would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know.
You like to see a rematch?
Rematch will always sound good. But in a rematch, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah.
I think so.
Redmond Edwards offered a different perspective. Firmly dismissing the idea of a Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford matchup, he argued that the notion feels unnecessary and forced, as Crawford deserves to be celebrated for his current success without being endlessly compared to legends of the past. Edwards suggested that if Floyd truly wanted a crossover spectacle, a fight with Roy Jones Jr. would make more sense, given the star power and curiosity it would generate. In his view, Crawford is in his prime and should be recognized for what he's achieving now, rather than being pulled into fantasy debates that overshadow his accomplishments. Edwards stressed that matching him against Floyd not only takes away from Bud's moment but also distracts from the historical weight of his achievements. For him, boxing should move past chasing impossible dream fights and instead allow Crawford to shine as the defining symbol of greatness in today's era.
Never gonna get this fight, unfortunately. Just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win. But if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as that's 50-50, man, I don't know? Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
Man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing and make up something just to. I got my opinion on, how the fights will go and, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. and I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made kind of two different eras though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter weighed in on the surprising announcement of Floyd Mayweather facing Mike Tyson, describing it as something closer to a street fight than a legitimate boxing match. He noted that there's genuine tension between the two, with long-standing resentment fueling the matchup, which could make it far more personal than strategic. Because of that, Porter doubted any boxing commission would officially sanction such a bout. While he admitted the spectacle would generate massive buzz, he warned it could also cross boundaries the sport shouldn't. For Porter, the potential for chaos outweighs the appeal, leaving him skeptical that the fight will ever happen in a proper ring. Several other analysts echoed his concerns, criticizing the growing trend of exhibition fights featuring legends like Mayweather, Tyson, and even Jake Paul, arguing that these events focus more on name recognition than true competition.
I don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like it's for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? Obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And, that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show, we already know, like, we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable. But it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
You falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So
many observers noted that fans haven't even fully embraced Jake Paul's spectacles, raising the question of why boxing keeps leaning on retired legends instead of promoting today's rising stars. To them, this reliance reflects a weakness in the current generation of fighters, who have struggled to capture mainstream attention on their own. Analysts warn that if the trend continues, the sport risks depending too heavily on nostalgia and drifting further away from its foundation of genuine, competitive boxing.